Hello and welcome to the ShortVort on Parshas Va'eschanan. This is Shabbos Nachamu, and we have Tu B'Av this week. I'd like to share two different thoughts of Musa that are from the Parsha. The first is Lo Sosifu al Hadavar Shanachi Mitzav Eschem Lo Sigru Mimenu. We're commanded here not to add mitzvos to what Hashem has commanded us, nor to detract and subtract mitzvos from what Hashem commanded us. Rashi brings down a medrash that says, don't make 5 tefillin, don't have 5 minim for the lulav package, and don't have 5 tzitzis on your daled konfos. But what's so bad about adding on mitzvos? So Rabbi Yonason Eibschutz gives a great mashal explaining why we should be careful to listen exactly the way Hashem commanded us to do the mitzvahs. If someone is sick, chas v'shalom, they go to a doctor, they're going to the best doctor, at the best hospital, and it's a serious disease, and the doctor gives them a prescription, says take this amount of milliliters of this and this amount of that, whatever it is. If the patient's going to say, well, I'm just going to do what I want, I'm taking the medication, but I want to do more of this, I want to do less of that, inevitably, he's going to get into trouble. He's going to get sick, he's going to get worse than he was beforehand. So that's the same thing when it comes to doing mitzvos. Mitzvahs are our spiritual medication. It's our spiritual health. If Hashem tells us to do a mitzvah exactly this way, with 4 paragraphs in the tefillin, or the daled minim, or daled tzitzis, we don't add and we don't subtract. That's the way to get the best prescription for a spiritual life. Related to this, and that's in Perek Daled Pasuk Beis of Eschanan. In Pasuk Tes, we have the words, Raki Shama L'cha Ushmor Nashecha Mod. You should guard yourself and guard your soul very much. So, people have this habit, says Rabbi Yisrael Salanter, that they'll look at other people and say, oh, this guy's making a mistake here, he's not doing that right, he comes late to shul, he doesn't daven properly, whatever the thing is, he's looking at someone else. Rabbi Salanter says, no, you should really be looking at your soul, your nafshecha, your spirit, and that's where you improve yourself. And once you've worked on yourself, what you're going to realize is that your spirituality is dependent on the other people's physicality. It's not your job. Yes, there is an Indian of having hochacha and reproving your friends, but it's got to be done very correctly, which is hard to do. But when you realize that, instead of looking at what's wrong with them spiritually, look at them what's wrong physically. If say they don't have money, so then you'll lend them money, you'll give them money, you'll give them a donation. That's because you've looked at your spirituality first, and that's an important lesson. And I think this relates to the Vort on Havidan es kol ha'adam lekav zechus, that the default assumption is that you should judge everybody, give them the benefit of the doubt. But perhaps another way of looking at it is that instead of looking at one aspect of that person, as I said, let's say someone comes to shul very late and leaves early every time, and you want to say, hey, I'm on time, I stay the whole way through, you should be doing better. You should say, well, maybe that person, that's one thing that's a flaw, and he has room to improve. But we should judge him favorably because maybe he's someone who does a lot of other mitzvahs besides that. He's a chesed person, or whatever it is. But you have to look at the whole package of the person. Having done as kol hadam, judge every part, the entirety of a person, not just part of it. So now we see, be medactic to the mitzvahs, do what Hashem tells us. That's our way to be spiritually healthy. And as we evaluate our own nefesh, that's going to help us both spiritually as well as potentially help other people physically. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful Shabbos.